Please be advised that everything in my video is purely for entertainment purposes. These are purely my thoughts and opinions and are subjective. I must advise you to please do your own research. All media users found on the public domain and are fair use and fair dealings.
Hi you guys, hope you're all doing well. Sorry, I'm going to be catching up on some news just because, as you know, the two dogs taking up my time has been, it's different, but it's going extremely well. I'm very much happy with the choice that we've made. Lucia's settled in extremely well. Her and Leela get along brilliantly. Leela's got a bit more sulky, I'd say, today and last night. She's a bit more like... but I'm making sure I'm giving her lots of, attention as well, and making sure that, like last night I went upstairs, so I took Lucia with me, so my husband spent time with Leela, so we're trying to make sure that the dogs get equal amount of time just with each of us. But yeah, no, it's going really good. There's been one or two little squabbles. It's just over dominance, and then naturally whatever toy one's got the other one wants, but as I said, it's probably no different to children. So far so good. So on the 22nd of July it was Prince George's birthday. I actually cannot believe it has been 7 years since we saw Catherine and William proudly standing on the Lindo wing steps holding him. We've seen so many great pictures of him from when he was a sort of like a proper bouncy chubby baby on his first tour. We've seen temper tantrums. Catherine is just as normal mother as the rest of you. We've seen him grow into a big brother with Charlotte, and yet again with Prince Louis. The kids look like they're thick as thieves. It's lovely, and I love the way that William and Catherine have shared these milestones with us, and it does make you, the children are very endearing. I think we've seen more of them than what we did Harry and William. It's been done differently, mainly because the Duchess of Cambridge takes the photographs herself, so it's very personal, and they select the pictures rather than it being media. It's probably nicer for the children rather than having to stand there and pose with lots of royal photographers, all those different camera flashes as well, so the children look really, really natural, really having fun. And I know I've said it before, but he is the absolute spit of Grandpa Middleton, isn't he? He just looks so much like him. It's funny how genetics get passed down. I'd say Prince Louis looks like him as well. Charlotte, I'd say she's more Margaret, the Queen sort of side. But yeah, the children are just absolute delight. I genuinely look forward to seeing more pictures of them. They're certainly being brought up a different way to their cousin Archie, who, can you believe it or not, there is another lawsuit been filed, and there is threat of yet another lawsuit, which I will get onto. These two are so happy. It's sue. It's absolutely insane. No wonder the Queen's solicitors have turned around and said, Harry, look, we just can't keep doing this. You're suing everyone over everything. This latest lawsuit, the one that is actually going ahead, they are suing an unknown paparazzi for taking aerial shots of Archie. I've seen the pictures. I can't post the picture on here just because I'm not sure how legal standings are, because they're obviously suing over the use of the picture. I don't want to get in trouble. But it's a picture of Doria pushing Archie in one of those, I don't know what you call them. They're like a little mini red car, but they've got a long yellow handle, so, you can push the kid along. So obviously they're staying in Tyler Perry's £18 million mansion, or dollar mansion. It's got huge areas which are undercover. It's got a swimming pool and everything, and they've had privacy fences put up. So where was this taken? Well, Doria was pushing Archie down the driveway, the huge long driveway. Now surely that is deliberately going to be putting him in view of the paparazzi, because they're going to be near the driveway or on the hills that overlook. Why not round the back of the house? Why not where Harry gave his speech for the Centre with all of the trees? Why not all of that garden space? I think we all know why. They wanted the pictures to be taken so they could then file a lawsuit. I do not believe this couple, anything that they say. I think, they're talking about independence. Look how many lawsuits that they are firing off left, right and centre. This is their way that they're going to try and earn money. It's making them more toxic. It makes them more laughable. Like I said, that all of those huge grounds that they had to walk around in, why on earth would Doria choose the driveway with no cover to walk down with him in? It's pretty obvious that they deliberately wanted the paparazzi to get these shots. The only people that get rich in these scenarios are obviously the lawyers, solicitors, because they're filing so many of them. And I just think, where are they getting the money? They're obviously going to be using very expensive lawyers. Where is this money money coming from? Is Charles covering all of their solicitor fees? I mean, the stuff that they're suing over now has just become borderline ridiculous, hasn't it? I mean, we've got Harry suing, what's he suing? He's suing the Sun and the Mirror over phone hacking. I'm sorry I thought that happened like 10 or more years ago, unless he's saying there's been a recent event of it. And you've got Meghan suing Associated News because of over this letter, The Five Friends. Then Archie, poor 1-year-old Archie's got his own lawsuit for invasion of privacy. It's just crazy. And now this is another lawsuit. I'm sure there's a couple more that I've probably forgot about. The Guinness World Book of Records should get in this couple. They should be published. For there can't be another single couple in the world that have ever filed this many lawsuits in one go. Now, the other lawsuit, which hasn't actually happened yet, but Harry has basically thrown a massive wobbler, a temper tantrum, and he's threatening that his lawyers will be in touch. Now, you've got the Republic Party. They are the people that want to get rid of the monarchy. Okay, and obviously since everything that's happened with a certain uncle, and then we've had all of the stuff with Harry and Meghan, to say calls for a republic are getting louder is an understatement, and this is where the Queen and Charles really need to pay attention if they want the monarchy to continue. They are still causing damage. All right, they've taken care of Uncle for, they've taken away from public duties and stuff. He's being hidden away. He's, in the broom closet. But allowing Harry and Meghan to keep the titles and to still be living the way that they live in, to let them be president and vice president of the Queen's Commonwealth Trust, they are still dragging down the monarchy. And these lawsuits are definitely not helping, because the longer the Queen and Charles stay silent, the longer it looks like that the monarchy are supporting their behaviour, which makes members of the public go, if that's the case, we don't want the monarchy. So what has Harry's latest temper tantrum been over? Well, the Republic Party, I think, have just asked a fair question, which many of us actually asked. There was, obviously they were part of the Royal Foundation. It was originally the Royal Foundation of the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge and Duke and Duchess of Sussex. Obviously the Fab Four split for still reasons unknown, but I think we all have our suspicions. So then Meghan and Harry set up Sussex Royal, which was going to be pretty much their own foundation. So funds that were raised when they were joint, the four of them together, have been split. So there have been payments going to Sussex Royal for their share, I suppose it was, charitable donations, money that's been made for them to put towards their causes that they wish to support. This happened in December. Pretty much all the paperwork happened. The payments got transferred. Come January, Megxit. So they knew that they were leaving and they still accepted this money. I don't believe that William and Catherine and the lawyers for the Royal Foundation knew about this at the time. So the Queen has then said that they cannot use the Sussex Royal. So the foundation, I think it's finally now been dissolved or liquidated. I don't know the right terminology, shock horror. But that's gone. And then they were going to set up Archewell. And there was lots of concerns about Archewell because it was rumoured that they were setting it up under the same sort of business plan as the Clinton Foundation, i.e. it would mean that only 5% of donations actually go to the causes. The rest can be swallowed up in expenses, which for Meghan and Harry, the way they blow through money on private jets, clothing budgets, swanky places to stay, that money would go poof, gone. But Archewell didn't happen. They've pushed it back until next year. So the only place that money got transferred to was Harry's private limited company, Travelist. It's not a charity. They would not be giving money to charity. This is Harry's private business venture, which is supposed to help sustainable carbon emissions by flying. That to me is the same kind of BS they came out with. It's okay they used Elton John's private jet because Elton John made a donation to offset their carbon emissions. They planted a few trees. With the way Harry and Meghan fly and the amount of carbon emissions they pump out into the atmosphere, they need to be planting a forest pretty much every year. So it's ridiculous. And the thing is, a bit like Greta Thunberg, and I will say this, Meghan is exactly the same. Harry, they do these big speeches, right? And it's a lot of word salad, and it's a lot of blaming, and it's a lot of, we need to undo what the others have done. We need to right the wrongs of the past. We need to change the way that we treat the planet. We need to do this. We need to do that. But there's never any ideas of how we meant to do that. What are you going to put in place? What are you exactly going to do? What do you suggest? At least when Prince William got together with David Attenborough and they've done the Earthshot Prize, The Ushant Prize is to do with people coming together and getting ideas how to save the planet. Like I think it was like 10 issues that we need to resolve, and they're going to hand out awards to people, a bit like the Nobel Peace Prize, but it will be for different ways to help save the planet. So they are coming up with solutions, getting people to come together and work together and go, right, okay, we can do this, we can change this. The other lot, Greta Thunberg, makes kids riot, sit outside schools. They, they it just causes disruption. Meghan and Harry, the latest stuff, they're causing anarchy, they're causing uprising. They're just basically saying, fight against authority, fight against this, do that. For what purpose? What purpose can you... There's no resolve. You're not coming up with ideas. You're not trying to find ways for people to work together, to find peace and to harmony. It's just a load of word salad. So for people that don't understand that terminology, I know some of you do ask word salad. If you think about if you toss a salad up in the air, it's just, the tomatoes go everywhere, the lettuce goes everywhere, the onions go everywhere. It's just one big mess shoved back in a bowl, isn't it? That is a word salad. So Harry's had 2 meetings that I'm aware of on Travelist, and the same thing. He spoke a lot, he did a lot of hand gestures and a lot of talking, and stood behind a nice, pretty kind of green screen with the Travelist logo. We know the companies that have got involved in it. That's it. What are they going to do? Do we know anything about the company? Do you know what they're actually going to achieve? I've seen on social media that they've got no offices, there's no building, there's no staff, apart from the directors, which I think switched over from Sussex Royal. So, yeah, it begs the question, doesn't it? And then the money that has been transferred from what was supposed to go towards charitable causes and charity has gone to setting up Harry's private venture. Of course questions are going to be raised. Of course people are going to be like, that doesn't seem right. That's dodgy. I smell a rat, I smell a fish. And if you can smell a fish, it's a fish. I think that the Republic, or any member of the public, is perfectly reasonable in querying why this money has been pumped into Harry's private venture, Travelist, when we've got real no idea what that company's going to do. But it's obviously not going to give money to charity, that's for sure. The other thing I'd like clarity on, I know quite a lot of you would like clarity on, is what happened to the $3 million donation from Disney? I'd just like to see clarity. I'm not saying there's foul play, but I would like to see exactly where that went, because I haven't seen any great big thank yous from any of the African charities or elephant charities out in Botswana saying thank you. Obviously, we've had that terrible tragedy in Botswana. They've lost like 350 elephants. They've got no idea. Harry and Meghan, completely silent on the subject. Not one word about those elephants that are dying. They don't know what's causing it, but it's a massive, massive, massive incident. And they're completely quiet. They don't care. It's the same as Australia. They loved Australia. Australia fires took out lives, took out wildlife, took out homes. I did more to try and raise awareness in Australia than what Harry and Meghan did. They just don't care about anything apart from themselves. But clarity on where money goes, and the same as anyone's going to donate to this couple, they're either donating directly to them or they need clarity. I still find it odd that it was reported that Harry and Meghan set up their own private business before December. It was round about December. So they knew that they were going to leave the royal family probably as early as beginning as probably a couple of years ago. They were going to do it. This is the way it's coming across, and it's not coming across good for either one of them. So the Republic Party's question has been raised to the Charity Commission. Not just, basically it said they're raising questions from the Royal Foundation, which is obviously Catherine and William, with a transaction going to Harry and Meghan, and then Harry and Meghan Sussex Foundation going to Travelist. The Cambridges responded with just a very calm, sensible, we've followed all guidelines. That was it. That's fine. They've not done anything wrong, because I'm pretty sure as far as they were concerned, it was going to Sussex Royal, because they at the time didn't know that Harry and Meghan were going to do a bunk. So how does our little stroppy Harry respond? Quite different, really. He felt the inquiry was insulting, defamatory, salacious and unjust, and promises it will be dealt with the full weight of the law. Ooh! Come on! I don't think that they have done anything wrong in asking those questions. Lots of members of the public I saw over social media were asking the same questions. So why has Harry reacted so badly? I've got limited knowledge, very limited knowledge on how all of this works. How it works with charities and foundations, profit, non-profit. It does go over my head a little bit. But to me, I'm sorry, the fact that that money was meant to go towards charity has gone into Harry's private venture travel list that we've got no idea what it's about. It's not even off the ground yet. Yeah, people have got the right to ask questions about it. Of course they have. The way Harry's reacted to it with the full force of anger and the threat of lawyers doesn't exactly scream innocent to me, does it? That to me raises more suspicions. Why would you be angry over a simple request for the Charity Commission to look into it? Even Harry, if he's as dumb as a box of bricks or whatever you want to call it, I mean, surely he can understand that money from a charity has been paid into his own personal private company. Why would you be angry about that unless you've got something to hide? So I'm going to leave that thought with you. Please, as always, tell me what you think. But I think he's just made himself look guiltier. Why on earth would you threaten them with the law because they've just raised a responsible inquiry to the Charity Commission? Most people raise queries with the Charity Commission if they think a charity has been misbehaving. And as far as I'm concerned, and the way it looks, it's dodgy as hell. So anyway, I will be back with you guys very soon. See you soon. Bye.
If you like my video, please remember to like and subscribe. Please, angry typists, you will be blocked, so save your fingers the time. If you would like to buy me a coffee, please go to my About page and click the link. Love, Taz.